again. Oh, fake news, fake news. Oh, well, what are you going to do?
Laugh. Ha 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 ha.
Exactly. Sometimes you have to. Hello, welcome to the morning show. It turns out that we had a great discussion. If you ever miss any discussion of anything, just go to KMT1490am.com. You'll check out our audio radio app as well, and you'll be able to hear it as well right there. It's a simple AM station, always available, always on AM KMT 1490 AM. And just tune your radio dial to that. And of course, you'll be able to get it from anywhere around the corner. So Kamala Harris getting the vaccine, encouraging others to join her. Did you see that?
No, I did not. So she got the vaccine shot. Which one did she get?
That's a good question. I think we need to kind of figure that out. I don't know. Let's see. She gets the vaccine, encourages others to join her. Now, didn't you see one? I mean, I'm not saying she did it, but wasn't there one that you sent me a video and they tried to inject it, but it was already injectable or injected or something like that?
Yes, I sent you a video. I think it was from an El Paso hospital. Now, I actually looked deeper into that little video, and what it was they were, you know how all these hospitals are recording their employees taking the shot. So apparently this guy already took the shot, but they wanted to show that he was taking the shot. So they just stuck him with an empty needle and not pretend to push the button or plunger.
Okay, well then that makes so much more sense. Well, so there you go.
But all it does is that was just a dumb move because all it does is just fuel conspiracy theorists. It fuels crazy people. And it's like, look, he's not getting injected with anything. They're trying to play us.
Yeah, I agree. Well, look at this. House passes the bill to increase stimulus checks to $2,000. So
30 seconds, and I will take that when I see it.
Be like,
I'm telling you, we should reduce their pay, and maybe stuff will get done faster.
Or just don't pay them. I mean, they just don't,
Right? 15. If we have to suffer, so do they.
I mean, how much do they make? 180,000? That's a good paying job. To sit there and go, yay, nay.
5 seconds.
Yay.
Nay.
Let's call it an iPad. Push the button.
2 seconds.
That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM, joining our live stream audience, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and of course, Periscope TV. Glad to have you with us. Lots of people tuning in. We appreciate you. Wherever you're tuning in from around the world, we thank you very much. There's a lot of things going on. Earlier we talked about National Calendar Day on heroism. What is heroism to you? Do you view somebody as a hero in your life? Maybe it's a trusted friend, a family member, somebody that you're like, you know what? I really love this person because, they always go above and beyond. Sometimes it's a small act. Sometimes a small act, you don't know how low somebody may feel. And you think, you know what? I need to kind of give them a cheer up, give them a nod, give them a helping hand. Sometimes we see people who go, do they need help? And you just kind of go, you know what? It might break their back carrying that big load of groceries. Who knows? It could be a simple thing, could be a complicated thing. And sometimes it's just saying, you know what? Let me just try to do something good. All right. We got Mr. Jesse Sanchez over there. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
So big news, House passes the bill to increase stimulus checks to $2,000. The U.S. House of Representatives voted to pass a bill to increase the 600 stimulus checks to $2,000, with 275 members voting for the bill and 134 voting against it. The bill received the needed two-thirds majority of the members voting to pass in the House, but it faces an uncertain future in the Senate, where a two-thirds majority is also needed in order for the bill to head to President Trump's desk. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has not indicated whether he will bring a vote to the floor on the larger checks. Senator Bernie Sanders, a supporter of $2,000 checks, called for McConnell to bring the vote to the floor. He tweeted, if McConnell doesn't bring a vote to the floor, he will object to the vote to override Mr. Trump's veto of the defense funding bill. Of course, Sanders cannot stop the veto override from happening. He can filibuster it past New Year's Day, which could cause a major headache for the GOP. So question, Jesse, what do you think is going to happen next?
Honestly, I don't know, because they've just been pushing this bill back and forth for what, the past few months now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll see if we get $2,000. This should have been done a long time ago, but you know what? They get paid no matter what, so whatever.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. So look, people, of course, are wondering, how am I going to take advantage of opportunities to help my family out when it comes to coronavirus, right? Am I going to have to pay the rent? Have I lost the job? Have I gotten any income as of late? Will I be able to pay? Are people going to be evicted? A lot of people have a lot of questions, a lot of theories. And I think it's a good time to kind of start discussing that, because the question really has come up in certain areas of the country. For example, here's one: rental assistance cannot come soon enough. Tenants are worrying that they could face evictions. That's according to an affiliate in San Diego. The COVID-19 relief package includes a nationwide extension on eviction moratorium and rental assistance. But as long as things are shut down, finding a job has been nearly impossible. Many renters worry and landlords have to pay their bills too. Sylvia Lopez, a single mother of three and resident of Vista, had just made plans to leave her job cleaning homes to start her own cleaning business, but then the pandemic hit, eliminating her income almost immediately. This is a very common thing that people are experiencing currently, and I think a lot of people are not even becoming aware of how difficult it is to pay the rent, pay, maybe rental assistance, or get the rest. The study actually coming in the article here says, and then came the eviction notices. The COVID-19 relief package includes a nationwide extension on eviction moratorium and rental assistance. As long as things are shut down, finding a job has been impossible. Everybody was shutting down pretty much, and I didn't know where to start, what to do. That's according to Lopez. She says, I feel like they're landlord stressed just as much as we're stressed. Everybody has to pay bills. It's really hard to stay afloat, provide for your home, pay rent on top of that. Of course, before President Trump signed the bill Sunday, Lopez expressed that she would say to lawmakers, just have a heart. We're all struggling. It's really hard. Rafael Bautista with San Diego Tenants United said, despite the law, landlords have bullied people out of their homes with threats of eviction. Bautista said renters have rights and can fight back. And this is very important for people to understand, because sometimes people take advantage of a situation thinking, oh, they're just renters. They don't know. In fact, we're going to have a very interesting discussion, I think, in the coming days with a special attorney, which we'll have talking about the eviction process, because unfortunately some people think, oh no, what am I going to do? I'm going to be evicted. And they don't realize it's an eviction process. So you can't just say, hey, you're being evicted, because there's a lot more to it. So according to this, Bautista said this: any rent that was accumulated through the moratorium has to go through a small claims collection process, which is completely different, where they cannot remove you from your home and they can only file for that collection. They cannot force you to pay it. There's no way for landlords to just lock you out, turn off your utilities, or make any extraordinary attempts to get you of the home. I think it means get you out of the home. Lopez was able to work out a payment plan with the help of private organizations and the initial round of federal assistance. Molly Kirkland, a spokesperson for the Southern California Rental Housing Association, said that she has not heard of many evictions related to COVID-19 hardships. She said, quote, nobody wants to evict anybody or displace anybody, certainly not right now. Any evictions going forward are from either prior to the pandemic, it means they have not turned in a hardship for, or they are not facing a hardship, or it's for reasons unrelated to rent. The current moratorium prevents the eviction of COVID-related debt so long as they return a declaration of financial hardship. If required tenants to pay 25% of the monthly rent September 1st through January 31st, 2021, or all of it by January 2021. The bill includes $2 billion for California rental assistance, according to Governor Newsom, and a 1-month extension of the moratorium. Many hope a longer-term solution is worked out to help landlords and tenants, especially with the back rent debt that has been accumulated. Now, this is an interesting discussion. I've had this discussion with a couple of people that said, actually, landlords also have the ability to get money at the same time. And the question is, how do you know if landlords are getting the money and then they're getting the money as well from the renters at the same time, or they're demanding the money from the renters? The question is there any check and balances of double dipping? Does that make sense, Jesse? Have you ever thought of that?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure some people have already thought of that and have already started doing that.
Yeah, exactly. So if you have a situation, we want to hear about it. In the coming days, we will have some very interesting attorneys on speaking of that very thing, because I've seen this to be a thing. Rosalie says, "Good morning. I'm already caffeinated out." Laughing out loud. Sorry. Stephanie Reed, again, hello, happy editing. This glorious day for today's busy day ahead. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, we're going to take a quick break here on the morning show. We'll be back right after these messages. Stay tuned.
You have 1 minute.
Thank you, bud. All right. Not coronavirus. Just
Lies, Corona.
What'd you say?
I said lies. You got the Rona.
The Rona? Don't say that. I might die.
No, don't say that.
No, I had. I gotta check. Hopefully.
30 seconds.
Hold on. Oh, let's talk about Kamala. Kamala.
Kamala. Do 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 do. Wait, why am I singing the Love Boat? We have 10 seconds till we come back. Two seconds.
Thank you. Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. We appreciate each and every one of you. Obviously, a lot of people asking, what is going on with the vaccine? Are we going to get it? Are we going to want it? Is it the right time? According to this, Kamala Harris gets the vaccine, encouraging others to join her. The pandemic of the coronavirus, of course, has infected more than 81.4 million people worldwide, killed over 1.7 million of them. Again, that's worldwide, according to real-time data compiled by the Center for Systems Science and Engineering at Johns Hopkins University. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris received her first dose of the Moderna vaccine on Tuesday morning at United Medical Center in Washington, D.C. She said that was easy. I barely felt it. She says, I want to encourage everyone to get the vaccine. It is literally about saving lives. I trust the scientists, and it is the scientists who created and approved this vaccine. She went on to say, right in your community is where you can take the vaccine, where you will receive the vaccine by folks you may know, folks who otherwise are not or are working in the same hospital where your children were born, folks who are working in the same hospital where an elderly relative received the kind of care that they needed. I want to remind people that they have trusted sources of health, and that's where they will be able to go to get the vaccine. So I encourage them to do that. And she went on to say a little bit more. Her husband, Doug Emhoff, also received the vaccine. Obviously, people got questions on this. I still feel it is prudent to be careful to know if, in fact, you are administering it. Make sure you do read the details on it, and of course, check out any potential side effects from happening. I know we've talked about this at length, Jesse. Anybody else that have offered really good advice?
Advice for the vaccine.
Yeah.
I know someone who took it, and I think he took the Moderna one. Poor guy. A week later, he ended up being tested positive for COVID.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like he had it for like it's either like a week and a half ago or something like that. Whenever they started, and because he's frontline worker, so I read his posts all the time. So and then he's all like, "Oh, I think I'm got a reaction to the vaccine." So he was saying how he has the body chills and all that stuff. Eventually, he gets a test and he's positive.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I had a couple of family members as well extended that are really, 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 wondering what's going to happen there. It is a stressful time. A lot of people, of course, saying, "Do I have it? Do I have it?" Especially when you have, 8 or 10 people living in the same house, and one person gets it. Now you're like, who has it next? How are you going to take care of them? What are you going to do next? Speaking of which, TSA is screening over 1 million people at checkpoints across the U.S. on Monday. This marked the 7th day within the last 11 days that more than 1 million people were traveling. Of course, a lot of people are like, how do we keep safe? How do we do the right thing? Lots of news on that, but we got to take a break here on the morning show. We'll be back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned. I might get another one. Wait, oh. And there we go. Okay. Let's see here. Do you want to talk about the worst TV show of 2020?
Oh, okay. I don't know what it is, so
I don't think I would know them.
I'll keep it a surprise. We got 1 minute.
Nintendo seals court victory against knockoff Mario Kart Tour company. Oh, that's interesting. All right, buddy. Let's see.
20 seconds. 2 seconds. We're coming back.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live stream audience there, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, of course, our good online friends as well. Let's do our shout outs right here, right now. We got Maria Yankopoulos there. Good morning, everyone. We appreciate you. Thank you. Cynthia Hardy tuning in as well. Thank you very much. And of course, a lot of people are wondering what's going on with the vaccine. Got questions there. Maria says, poor guy. I got my Pfizer first shot. Thank God I'm safe, COVID free, and no problem. So there you go. Of course, Maria asked Jesse about the I was going to say WWW.
Oh,
the world. What was it? The Worldwide Federation of Wrestling.
You talk about the original one, the WWF?
Yeah, WWF. Not the other, the WW 1984, which I hear is still kind of up for grabs. I haven't really heard anybody else see it just yet. So you're kind of the only dude that I've heard see it. But any recommendations on what to pay, or if at all?
Well, you got to sign up for HBO Max. So there are a ton of movies on there, well worth the $15. But I think we talked about it yesterday. Just Wonder Woman in general. Like I said, I enjoyed the film, but I don't think I would watch it over and over again. It's just I felt there were scenes that needed to be cut and maybe choose a different villain.
Yeah, I agree 100%. All right, so wait, what if it? Oh, I don't want to know. Okay, I'll take time to see it at some point. The moment I get a break to do what I want to do. Okay, and then there is this. California hospitals are stopping non-emergency. Hold on, let me see if I got that right. Hold on. This is interesting. California hospitals stop non-emergency surgeries. What? Kaiser Permanente has already started to postpone non-urgent surgeries in Northern California due to the surge, which could cause serious issues for those patients who have underlying health conditions. Hospitals across California are starting to either think about rationing care, or they have already started due to the COVID-19 surge in the state. According to Kaiser officials, they said this in a news conference. Given the impact of COVID-19 on healthcare systems, we have postponed elective and non-urgent surgeries and procedures that take place in our main hospital operating rooms through January 4th at our Northern California facilities. We are not postponing cancer cases or other urgent, emergent surgeries and procedures. According to Kaiser, they said our command centers continue to monitor the situation carefully to ensure we have the resources, capacity, and staff available to care for the rapidly increasing number of hospitalized COVID-19 patients, while also maintaining safe access to healthcare services for our members and, of course, the communities we serve. A lot of people forget about, the one bedroom situation where, of course, sometimes you have two, beds and or one, but you have so many that need to kind of self-isolate away from others. And then you got different types of coronavirus situations over there. So what do you do next? Obviously, a lot of people are asking. And I say, you know what? Don't go to the hospital if you could try. This is one of those times where it's like, if you could bandage it up. I mean, I remember breaking my finger once. It was really bad. I actually broke two of them. And if it was right now, I would be like, you know what? Let me go ahead and do some super glue, put in some napkins, put a little stick straw. Remember one of those popsicle sticks? And just kind of keep it bent properly. What do you think about that, Jesse?
Yeah, I'm not going to go to you for health advice. So, yeah, don't get hurt.
No, I actually had that happen one time. It was an emergency worker. And it was huh?
I was like, take his advice, people.
Yeah. No, it was at the gym, and the weight actually went high up, and I thought it was a jar. Never, ever, ever put your fingers in the middle, right where the actual weight goes up, because I was like, why does that string look a little off? All of a sudden, it went whoosh, and I was like, and
picture. I can remember you picture it.
Oh, it was nasty. I took pictures. I was like, and I looked around. I'm like, ow! I think it was a good 80 pounds that crashed down onto my fingers. It was terrible, and it hurt like nobody's business. And I guarantee you, I was so happy that an what was he? He was a, I think, a fitness trainer there, but he was an EMT. This was at 24-hour fitness. It was about like a few years ago actually, and he immediately operated with his bandage. And he should have operated on it, but he didn't, because obviously it looked bad, but thankfully it didn't. It wasn't like my fingers fell off, right? And I was like, oh no, this is terrible. But he got it right away, took the bandage, and then I felt like, oh goodness, like I wanted to faint, right? Because I guess like the body goes through a certain trauma where you're like, what is going on? And then I went to the hospital and they're like, we think your tip of your finger is about to fall off. And I'm like, don't tell me that now. Take an x-ray first. Like, what why would you do that to me? So it took a while, and they were kind of laughing at me because I was a little frantic. But you know what? That's the one moment when you go in an emergency room, and thank God that was before coronavirus. I was simply saying, you know what? Oh man, it was terrible. So I say this: don't ever, ever, ever put your fingers in the middle of one of those weights. And if you do that and you tug on it, I tell you, just don't do it, because you're just gonna hate yourself for it. All right, we gotta take a quick break. We'll be back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Doesn't help I'm muted. 1 minute.
All right. All right, people. Oh, thank you. We're on our commercial break here, and let's see. Mara's asking, I don't know Cali much at all, but are you, Jesse or Aaron, near where COVID is raging bad and they got strict lockdowns again? What is the lockdown situation here lately? It's
2 seconds. Find out. Coming back.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Joining our live stream audience, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, of course, Facebook. We appreciate each and every one of you. Parts of California likely to have lockdown orders extended. This is according to the latest news. We got asked again, what is the situation there? State officials are expected to extend the strictest stay-at-home orders in Central and Southern California as hospitals are quickly running out of intensive care unit beds for coronavirus patients. The situation is pretty dire. The worst is expected to come in the next few weeks after Christmas and New Year's. Travelers return home. California hit 2 million confirmed coronavirus cases on Christmas Eve, becoming the first state to reach the milestone. The stay-at-home orders for the San Joaquin Valley and Southern California are set to expire. They were first imposed 3 weeks ago. Governor Gavin Newsom has signaled they would not be allowed to lapse. State officials said Sunday afternoon the orders were likely to be extended, but did not make a definitive ruling. Health inspectors and authorities stepped up enforcement at restaurants and shopping malls over the post-Christmas weekend in an attempt to curb the surge. Statewide officials on Sunday reported that California has had 2,122,806 confirmed cases and more than 24,000 deaths. The figures, of course, are the most recent data available. Most of the state is under stay-at-home orders. Of course, the question is, what does that mean? Where are we going with it? And what happens next? I don't know, Jesse. Whenever I go out, I always practice social distancing. The other day I was able to meet a couple friends, just in their, backyard, with social distancing. Another one in Victorville, our good friend Ricardo Rodriguez over at Garage Latino's very own Hispanic Motor Press, which are doing some great stuff. Looking at some really good vehicles coming up around the corner. We'll be having some really cool vehicles actually identified here in the coming future, because I know a lot of people are like, well, what's next? There's electric vehicles, there's self-driving vehicles. Any special vehicle that you're thinking of getting around the corner, Jesse?
Honestly, I actually had a dream about self-driving vehicles last night.
Oh, really? What was the dream about? Like, were you in it? Did you trust it? Did you think it was the right one for you?
Let's see. I was in Vegas and I was hailing a taxi. So I jumped in, not realizing, looking at the guy. So I jump in, I start talking, and I'm like, where's the guy? And then the car starts moving. I freak out. And it was a bad dream. So let's just say the car had an AI built in. So yeah, it could talk back. It was not pretty.
So was it a Decepticon or was it a
Autobot? No, I don't. It didn't transform. It just had an attitude, and I think it could do whatever it wanted to do. So, yeah.
Wait, like hit the car? Remember that? It was Knight Rider. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes, I love that show.
And I love that voice too, right?
Right? Yeah.
What was it? Michael. I forgot how it went.
And Kit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So there you go. How funny though. What was that, like 30 years ago? And here we are with actual cars that can do that. Some save on gas, some actually run on some other natural stuff out there. I remember I talked to somebody who actually did, I think it was it was a petrol. Oh man, I'm trying to think of the actual type of different alternative fuel vehicles. There's so many. Question: do you think we should speed up oil production and or save humanity and save the earth? Which do you feel?
Yeah, it's a catch-22. It's pretty much like, if we don't have oil to rely on, what are we going to rely on?
Mm-hmm.
We have solar, wind, and all those others, but it's not as like reliable as oil, correct?
Well, that's a good question. It depends on how powerful the solar panels are technically, which I know Tesla's come out with some pretty interesting ones. I don't know the current situation with that. I know in the coming days ahead, we've tried electric vehicles in the past. We've tried some, I like, honestly, cars with muscle. Do you know what I mean? Like the Charger, I want to call it the Diablo, right? I met somebody who actually is a good friend of one of my the ones that cut my hair. Shout out to Edette at Daddy Scissors. And she actually, her friend actually has a Charger Diablo, and I'm like, that's a lot of muscle car for a 5'2" deadly woman who's like, I'm going to run over whoever I want to. But I was like, that was pretty cool. I kind of wanted to be like, okay, can I take it for a test drive? Do you know how fast that car goes, Jesse?
No, I do not. How fast does it go?
The Diablo is one of the let's see. I think I get it right. I always get that wrong. If it's the Diablo or the let's see, which one is it? It's the Diablo Charger. No, I got it wrong. The Dodge Challenger, Charger, and Chrysler 300. And yeah, it's a Diablo. They have different versions of it, but it's basically approximately, I think, horsepower average about I always say 800 horsepower. She was very specific at 735, I want to say, horsepower, which is a beast of an engine. So if you're in the market for a vehicle, right now is a really good time to buy because A, it's at the end of the year, right? B, it's the time to kind of figure out, you know what? Did I save enough money? Am I looking forward into the new year? What am I going to do? Financially, buying anytime towards the end of the year is always a good idea because honestly, a lot of people kind of start slowing down. You know, if they spent any money, they already spent it already. So what do you do next? And people got ideas, people got questions. I say go and check out some of the great deals that they have. Coronavirus has had some, a little bit of, how do I say it, leeway for people's situations, especially if they're already hard pressed. If you have a car payment due, for example, or you have something that you need to check out, maybe a credit card company, a lot of them, when you ask them, what's the situation with the coronavirus? What are you going to do next? They'll actually let you know. There's a lot of programs available for cars and, of course, car manufacturers. And some of these actually are potential good buys. For like this one, used car market red hot during coronavirus pandemic, the coronavirus / new car sales by 15%. And here are some of the actual vehicles that you could check out as well. Let's see. According to this, Consumer Reports are saying, if you're lucky enough to be working from home, no longer need a car to commute, now's a good time to sell your car. How do you do it? Consumer Reports reveals the tricks of the trade to help you get the most bang for your buck. Since the pandemic, you may be finding your car sitting around collecting dust. Consumer Reports says your timing actually does not, or it couldn't be better, as the used car market has become red hot. So Consumer Reports Autos editor Keith Berry said with the pandemic, dealers are having trouble getting enough used cars in to sell. Even the least desirable used cars are now selling quickly and for prices higher than they would have 7 or 8 months ago. So are you looking for a car to possibly sell, Jesse?
Looking for a car to sell? No. I'd look for a car to build. That'd be cool.
Would you build a car like to your own specs? What would you do with it?
If I had a chance to build a car, it would be my dream car, which would be a '67 Chevy Impala.
Nice. Oh my goodness. I almost had a 67. Wait, was it 68 or 69 Chevy Impala? But that was at 15. What was your first car? What was your first vehicle? Like your first muscle car?
My first car was a Buick. What was it? Buick Park Avenue. Okay, no, this was a luxury car. And this car was built like a tank. So, I had it parked on the side, the sidewalk, but in the side area, and a car smashed into it. So sad. Unfortunately for me, my car was built out of metal, and their car was built out of fiberglass. So that didn't end well for theirs.
Oh, no. That is not the way to go. Yeah. You know what? Some cars are really built just to take a beating. They beat up the other car, and the other car is like an accordion. And you're like, I say any car that you can walk away from, that's a good vehicle. Okay, right? That really is. I remember I had one car, kid you not, I think I got hit 5 different times until it finally got totaled. And I was like, it just kept me safe the whole time. And I say, you know what? If you got a vehicle that can keep you safe, then good job. The quickest and easiest sale, your best bet is to sell your car to a dealership or a large dealer chain like CarMax. You'll just need to do some homework before you shop it around. First step, find out your car's value. According to Barry, editor Keith Berry says, I would look at some services like TrueCar, Kelly Blue Book, and see how much cars are like mine and they're selling for. And that gives you at least a starting point. Then you take your car around to 2 or 3 different places that purchase used cars, get a written offer. Having that written offer on hand will help you in negotiations with other potential buyers. You can also sell a car privately listed on the site, Facebook Marketplace, or does anybody use still Craigslist for that?
Does Craigslist still exist? No, yeah, Craigslist.
Yeah.
I use Craigslist for like I like to go through there and their job listings. You never know what you'll find.
Yeah, you could take then your car around in 2 or 3 different places, purchase used cars, get a rent offer. You can sell a car privately, list it. It's a little tricky during the pandemic. You're not going more than 6 feet away from someone on a test drive of a car. Giving your car a thorough cleaning before showing it to a potential buyer can translate into a quicker sale and possibly more dollars in your pocket, kind of like a house. Consumer Reports says to consider online services like Carvana to pick up your car. They offer to pick up your car and pay you on the spot right from your home. Perfect for selling a car while social distancing. So there you go. Good idea, bad idea. I don't think so. I think it's a possibility of many more people figuring out what they're going to do to make ends meet, right? Because obviously some people have 2, 3 big, really big luxury cars, and they pick those ones that are actually the worst ones to actually keep afloat. You know what I mean? Like there's got the ones with like the big old there's nothing against Hummers. I love Hummers. I really do. But I always wonder about their speaking of gas, like how much oil and or gas do they need, Jesse?
Too much, considering that it only takes what $25 to fill up my tank. And I remember when my mom had a what was it, a Chevy Tahoe. That car would take nearly $70 plus worth of gas. It's crazy.
Oh my God, that's the way to go. I'm telling you, just spend all the money on the gas. Okay, people, we got to take a quick break. We'll see you tomorrow. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. Bye-bye, everyone.